When it comes to retirement planning, after decades of saving, maxing out your 401k, and watching your portfolio grow, what's the actual goal? Most people would say something like, build as much as I can so I have enough to retire. And that makes sense, because that's what we're told to focus on for most of our working lives. But here's what nobody really prepares you for. The day you retire, the entire game changes. You go from accumulating money to depending on it. And those are two completely different skills. One is about growth, the other is about reliability. And I'll tell you right now, I've sat across from people with 1.5, 2, even 3 million saved, and they're genuinely anxious about retirement. Not because they don't have enough money, but because they have no idea how to turn that money into a paycheck they can count on for the rest of their life. That's what this video is about. I'm going to walk you through how to build predictable retirement income that is designed to last as long as you do, and some of the biggest mistakes I see people make when they try to figure this out on their own. Hi, I'm Glenn Eckstutt. I'm a financial advisor that helps people navigate the transition from saving for retirement to actually living in retirement. And if at any point in this video you'd like help taking a look at your own income plan, there's a link in the description where you can schedule a complimentary call. Okay, let's start with the problem nobody warns you about. When you're working, income is simple. Every 2 weeks, money shows up in your bank account. You know when it's coming. You know roughly how much it'll be. And you build your life around it. Well, retirement changes that. Suddenly, you're responsible for creating your own paycheck every single month for the rest of your life. And you have to do it from money that may have to last you 20, 25, maybe 30 or more years. Here's what I've noticed after working with people on this for years. The retirees who feel the most confident, the ones who enjoy retirement without constantly second-guessing their finances, aren't always the one with the largest portfolios. They're the ones who know exactly where their income is coming from. That's it. Not the highest returns, not the most aggressive growth strategy, just clarity. A reliable, predictable income stream that can continue whether the market is up, down, or sideways. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, Glenn, I have a decent portfolio. I'll just withdraw what I need each year. What's so complicated about that? And look, on the surface, that sounds perfectly reasonable. But there may be a problem with that approach, and it's the risk many people don't see coming. Imagine you retire in the fall of 2008. Your portfolio has done well, you've saved diligently, you feel ready. Then the market drops 40%. Now, here's where it can become painful. Because you're retired, you generally can't just wait it out the way you may have done during your working years. You still need income. Your mortgage doesn't care about market conditions. Your grocery bill doesn't pause for a recovery. So you start withdrawing from a portfolio that's already down significantly. And here's the math problem that can create. When you sell investments at a loss to fund your lifestyle, those shares are gone. They're not there to participate in a recovery. So even if the market comes back, your portfolio may not fully come back in the same way. This is what's called sequence of returns risk, and it's one of the most underappreciated risks to a retirement plan. It's not about average returns over time, it's about when bad returns happen. A bad stretch in early years of retirement can have a lasting negative impact on a portfolio in a way that a bad stretch in the middle years may not. And yet, most people spend little time planning for this. So what do you do about it? The first concept I want to walk you through is what I call the foundation, building an income floor. Think about it like building a house. Before you worry about anything else, you need a foundation, something solid that doesn't move regardless of what's happening around it. In retirement, your income floor is the same idea. It's the layer of guaranteed or more predictable income that helps cover your essential expenses no matter what the market does. We're talking about things like your housing costs, utilities, food, healthcare, insurance. The non-negotiable expenses that exist whether the market is up 20% or down 30%. For most retirees, Social Security is the starting point of that floor. If you have a pension, that's part of it too. And for some people, certain annuity strategies can play a role in helping to fill gaps in that foundation. Now, here's the most important thing. The goal isn't to put every dollar into guaranteed income. That's not what I'm saying. The goal is simply to help make sure that your essential expenses are covered by income sources that don't depend on market performance. Because once that floor is in place, something interesting happens. The fear often starts to go away. When retirees know their bills are covered, regardless of what the market does, they can make better decisions with the rest of their money. They're less likely to panic sell during a downturn, less likely to abandon a long-term plan because of a scary headline. That peace of mind is worth something, often more than a financial benefit itself. But here's where a lot of people get tripped up, thinking income and growth are opposites. The mistake people often make is assuming that once they retire, it's all about income, that growth is for younger people and safety is for retirees. But think about this. A healthy couple retiring at 65 today could easily need their money to last 25 or 30 years. In that time, the cost of living doesn't stay flat. Historically, inflation has roughly doubled the cost of living every 20 to 25 years. Which means if you retire at 65 and your income stays exactly the same, by the time you're 85, your purchasing power could be cut nearly in half. That's why retirement planning isn't really a choice between income and growth. It's about finding the right balance between the two. Some assets are designed to generate reliable income. Others are positioned for growth to help address the impact of inflation over the long haul. The right mix depends on your specific situation, your goals, your timeline, your expenses, your other income sources. And that's exactly why one-size-fits-all approach almost never works. I've seen retirees with nearly identical account balances who needed completely different income strategies because their health situations, spending needs, and retirement goals were different. By the way, this is exactly what I help people sort through. If you'd like a second opinion on how your retirement income plan is structured, click the link in the description and schedule a complimentary call. Okay, let's now talk about longevity, the risk people underestimate. Let me share a number with you. According to Social Security data, a 65-year-old man today has roughly a 1 in 3 chance of living to age 90. For women, it's closer to 1 in 2. And for a couple, the odds that at least one of them lives to 90 are quite high. That's a potentially 25-year retirement. Now ask yourself, is your current plan designed to last that long? Many people, when they're honest with themselves, haven't really planned past their mid to late 70s. Sure, they may have saved well, but often they haven't thought carefully about what happens if retirement lasts longer than expected. Running out of money at 85 or 90 is not an abstract risk. It's something that can happen to real people, and it's one of the most preventable retirement problems there is, if you plan for it early enough. That is why building income designed to last a lifetime needs to be part of the conversation. Not necessarily for every dollar you have, but as a core component of how your retirement income is structured. Now, here's a concept that's simple, but surprisingly overlooked. It's income diversification. Don't rely on one source. Most people understand investment diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and spread your risk across different assets. Well, the same principle applies to income. Imagine relying entirely on your investment portfolio for retirement income. One bad stretch, 2008, early 2020, any number of historical downturns, and your entire income stream could come under pressure at exactly the wrong time. The most resilient retirement income plans I've seen are those where income comes from multiple sources that don't all move in the same direction at the same time. Social Security, investment income, retirement account withdrawals, potentially pension income, potentially annuity income. When one source comes under pressure, the others can help provide stability. That's not just an investment principle, it's an income planning principle. Before we wrap up, I want to touch on the real goal of retirement planning. Many people think the goal of retirement planning is maximizing returns. But I'd argue the real goal is something different. It's confidence. Confidence that your income will still be there 20 years from now. Confidence that a bad market year won't derail your lifestyle. Confidence that your spouse will be taken care of. Confidence that you can spend money in retirement without constantly worrying that you're going to run out. The retirees who enjoy retirement the most aren't necessarily the ones with the highest returns. They're the ones who built a clear, reliable income strategy and then got on with their lives. That's ultimately what this is all about. So, if you're approaching retirement and you'd like help building a retirement income plan you can count on, or if you just like a second opinion on what you already have, click the link in the description and schedule a complimentary call. We'll look at your situation, talk through your income needs and goals, and figure out whether there are opportunities to help create more predictability and confidence in your retirement. Because after decades of saving and building, the goal was never just to have a big number on a statement. It was to turn that number into a paycheck you can depend on for the rest of your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.